Alright, so when you're talking to a girl that you like, whether it's at the bar, a club, or maybe you just met her on the street, or you're out somewhere at a park, no two conversations are going to be exactly alike, but I do find myself asking the same questions over and over again. And there's a reason why I ask these questions. I mean, if you're trying to take a girl home that night, or if you're trying to get her number, or make some progress romantically with her, you should probably be asking these questions in some way, shape, or form. So the first three that I'm going to give you are basic small talk questions that you've probably asked at some point in time. I mean, the truth is you've probably asked these questions at some point in time. This is just giving you more of a structure. Okay, first three are small talk, last two are logistical. In fact, the last one that I'm going to give you is by far the most important that you should ask. Okay, so the first one is pretty simple. It's just, who are you? Okay, some way, shape, or form of that. You know, what's your name? That sort of thing. This basically takes it from, you know, a regular just, hey, what's up, to like, now we're having a conversation. Now I'm taking the time to meet you. Now I'm taking the time to ask questions about you, and we're taking the time to get to know each other. Okay, so you've established that sort of premise. From there, you can transition into the classic, what do you do? Like, you know, what's your occupation, your job? Is she a student? Is she, you know, a businesswoman? That sort of thing. That'll give you a better idea about who she is. Now, a lot of people don't like small talk. I understand this. I don't really like small talk either, but what small talk allows you to do is it allows you to transition into something that's a lot more interesting to talk about. So you have to start with these common things because you don't know what her interests are, you don't know what she's done, but you do know that she is doing something, okay? And the other thing that you know is she must have come from somewhere. So that's the other question that you ask. The third one is, you know, where are you from? So you can ask her, oh, you came from Missouri? Okay, cool. Well, how do you think about San Francisco? You know, just these are more options where you can start. You have a starting point, and then you can ask more questions, learn more about her, make a better connection. Okay, so these three questions are just kind of like your default questions that you should, you know, if you're wondering, oh no, what do I say now? What do I ask? What do I do? Just default to those three questions. Okay, they're pretty important. Now, the last two that I'm going to give you are, the first one, these are all logistical things. So if you are talking to a girl and you're at the bar or something like that, at some point in time, I'm going to ask who she's here with. And you can do this playfully. You can do this like, oh, where your friends at? Or are those them over there? Where's your squad at? Any way you can do this sort of thing. And this is going to let you know kind of what her situation is a little bit better. Is she with her friends on a bachelor party? Is she with her boyfriend there? Is she celebrating her husband's anniversary? You know, she heard her husband's anniversary. Like, these are all important things to know. So a lot of times I get guys that will be like, they'll talk to a girl for like 2 hours at the bar, and then in the end she's like, oh, she has a boyfriend. Well, like, if you had asked that question sooner, you would have known that she had a boyfriend, and on top of that, like, you know, you could have talked to another girl that was single, that was interested in you, but you wasted that time. The other thing, too, is that I get a lot of guys that are like, oh, it's going really well with a girl, they've been talking to her for a while, and the friend comes out of nowhere, kind of swoops her away, and then she's gone, and they don't see her again. Well, if they had just asked, like, who you here with, you know, like, where your friends at, they would have known that their friend's there, and they would have been able to be prepared for her coming over. Then they could have said, hey, you know, what's up? I'm Lloyd. Okay, cool. You guys are going to go wait later. Why don't we just talk for a little bit, and then I know where you guys are going, so we'll meet up with you. Or you can come up with a plan that will allow you to keep talking to the girl that you want to talk to, or keep hanging out with her, rather than, oh, the friend just came and I had no idea how to handle it. By the time the friends come over and you haven't seen it, it's probably going to be too late for you to find a solution. Okay, so that's the fourth question that I usually ask. The fifth one, the final one, and this is the most important, is, you know, what are you up to? What are you up to this weekend? What are you up to tonight? What are you doing? Okay, this is the situation. This is knowing what situation she's in. A lot of people that you talk to, they might be enthusiastic to talk to you. They might be giving you like a lot of indication that they're like interested, that they want this to keep going farther, but they're only in town for 6 more hours, and then they fly back to wherever they're going, and you're never going to see them again. Sure, it's cool to have a nice connection with someone, but at the end of the day, you got to think about your end game. If you want to get with someone, or if you want to like if you want to start dating someone, or if you just want a girl to hook up with for a little bit, knowing this information is important. Like, I'm not going to waste my time with a person whose situation is just not, like, it's not going to happen. If I want to get with this girl tonight, then I got to make moves fast, obviously, because, like, we're probably only going to have, like, 3 hours to hang out at the most, and in that period of time, I got to seduce her, take her back, so she has time to pack, like, all of this stuff, and then she won't sleep. So you have to think about whether it makes sense for you guys to keep talking. And if she is in a situation that's a little bit tough, I guarantee you can find a solution for it, but you have to know that that's the situation that you're dealing with. If that is the case where she has to leave that morning and you've talked to her for 3 hours and then, oh, now it's time to go and she has to go pack, like, you could have handled that maybe before if you would just ask that question. I hear a lot of guys, they come up to me and they have all these excuses where, oh, it didn't work out because of this. She was super into me because of this. Well, if you had asked this question, what are you up to tonight? What are you up to this weekend? You would have known that, oh, well, the bachelor party is bouncing from bar to bar, so she's going to have to leave soon. Or she's just visiting for the weekend, so she's only going to be here for 2 days. So you got to see her in that period of time if you want to hook up with her. Or she's been living in the area for a long time and she hasn't seen this friend for a while, so she wants to hang out with her the entire night. Okay, cool. Well, maybe you just get the phone number and hit her up later. There's plenty of solutions to stuff that's happening, but you have to be conscious that you're talking to another person with, like, different wants and needs to you. So as soon as you figure out what those wants and needs are, you can better handle them and make it so that you can both win. Okay, and that's really the key when I'm going out, is finding someone who likes me, that I like them, and it's the right situation for us. Not every girl that likes you it's the right situation for, and I think a lot of guys, once they first start, they try and make certain situations work when it's just not going to happen. Okay, once you ask this question, you're going to be more attuned to that sort of thing, and you're going to be able to find solutions and lead it in a direction that you want it to go. I'll give you a couple examples. Like, when I first started out, I was always getting that, like, I remember I had this one girl that I was really into, and she was like this gorgeous, gorgeous girl. I was talking to her, I think I was like 22 when this was happening. It was like this, it's kind of like caramel skin black girl. I was talking to her for like the whole night. She was so pretty, like, we were hitting it off, and we were kind of like kissing each other at the bar, even though she was kind of reluctant to. And then it came around 2 a.m. and I was like, all right, cool, let's go back, get a couple drinks at my house or something like that. And she's like, oh no, like, I have to go back home. And I'm like, where's home? She's like, oh, I live in Denver. And I'm like, oh, well, like, do you come to the city that often? She's like, no, I was just here on a conference, like, I'm, usually not here. And I never saw her again, However, conversely, there was another time where I was out. I asked these questions at the very beginning. Probably minimum I'm gonna ask like 3 out of the 5 of these. I asked her at the beginning, who are you? Where are you from? Blah blah blah. And then I immediately started to get into like, what are you up to tonight? What's your plan? Like, who you here with? And then I found out she was here with some friends. They were having a little vacation. They were just seeing the city. They were getting crazy. Okay, I knew she was in the city for only 2 days. So she was just having like a friend's night that night. So I'm like, okay, cool. Let me just get get your phone number and we can meet up tomorrow. Like, I know some cool spots that we can go to. So got the phone number, met up the next day, hung out for like a few hours the next day, and then we ended up hooking up. And then I drove her back to the airport and sent her on her way. And we had an awesome night, and we're still communicating kind of here and there, but it was the situation where I had asked that question and I was able to make us both win. So, like, obviously I'm not going to bother and pester and take her away from her friends and then get mad when she has to leave. I'm going to find a solution that works out for the both of us. Got the number, met up with her the next day, showed her some cool spots of the city, and we're able to make a weekend out of it. So ask these questions, man. These are really important. These are not so much like game questions, but more questions that are smart. Like, if you want a certain thing to happen, like, you have to lead it. You have to find out if they're going to be available to do that sort of thing, So yeah. Anyway, that's all I really have to say about this. Thanks a lot for watching, you guys. If you made it to the end, consider subscribing. Come out with videos like this every single week. If you're interested in my mentorship program, email me, TheSingleGuy2017 @gmail.com. Thanks a lot, and good luck out there, you guys.